Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. This webinar is titled Unlock the Future of Privileged Access. We are excited to have you join us, and we are going to talk about our latest release, which is version 6.0 in this webinar. So before we begin, I'd like to share some few housekeeping notes with you guys. So first is Q&A. So if you have any questions during the webinar or during the session, please submit them using the Q&A box. Feel free to use the chat option for any general comments or discussions that you want to do. Second is about the recording. So this webinar is being recorded and the recording will be shared with all the registered attendees on your registered email IDs. Finally, on the audio video side, as this is a webinar, all attendee microphones and cameras are turned off by default. All right. So with this, we'll get into the introductions. So hi everyone, I'm Vikrant. I'm the product marketing manager at Sectona. Today I'm joined with Salman Malik. Salman is our solution architect, and we'll be taking you through the webinar today. All right, so I'll get started with a small intro about what Sectona is, what we do. So the privileged identity universe today is ever expanding, and we aim to be relevant for you going ahead. Human, non-human, and machine identities are ever increasing, and so are the assets or the infrastructure resources that these humans, machines, and NHIs access. So Sectona is future ready and ready to support you in all the future needs of your organization. Uh, we are a platform that scales well, and we would scale with you as an enterprise. As you are growing, we are in a position to scale with you. So we have a unified underlying platform that we leverage across all our product lines, including privilege access management, cloud access management, and endpoint privilege management. And this helps us leverage. So our common platform helps us leverage capabilities across all our offerings. So this includes a centralized policy framework and intelligent automation that we are able to leverage across all the product lines that we have. Apart from this, we are able to deploy our platform to our customers either through SaaS, self-hosted, or cloud. A little bit of our impact over the years that we have been active in the market. So our impact over the years has been massive. Some of you in the audience have been very graciously been through us in this journey. We are present, our global customer reach is around 35 plus countries with diverse customer portfolios. We have 1000 plus customers as of now, and a very strong and high customer retention ratio of 94%. Our customer base is Fortune 1000, and we have been consistently recognized on Gartner, QKS, Kapinger Cole, and GigaOm. Some of these analyst firms have mentioned us multiple times in their reports, as you can see on the screen. And over the years, we have received a lot of recognition from our customers as well. We have been customers' choice on Gartner for consecutive years. So this is a little bit of our overview and expertise. So a little bit about how we deploy. So as I mentioned earlier, self-managed is for the organizations that demand maximum control and data sovereignty. SaaS is focused on quick setup and automatic updates. Customers can also deploy on their own infrastructure, on their own cloud instances, whether it be AWS, Azure, GCP, or any other preferred cloud service provider. Lastly, PAM as a service can be offered through partnership with trusted managed service providers. For more detailed information on this, please connect with Sectona support if you are an existing customer. If you are looking for PAM solutions for your organizations, please book a demo directly through our website, sectona.com. All right, so let's begin. I'll take you through what all 6.0 offers to you. I have bucketed this into three aspects: technology, experience, and security. So I'll start on with technology. All right, so let's look at the technology enhancements introduced in 6.0. So 6.0 introduces automated discovery and onboarding of privileged accounts from Microsoft Entra ID. Alongside this, we have introduced a linked directory store, enabling integration between your on-prem ID and Entra ID. So this simplifies onboarding of cloud and on-prem identities for you as an enterprise. Next is session and account analytics. We have significantly enhanced the analytics experience by bringing session activity, account usage, authentication trends, and asset security posture into a single unified view with richer filters and deeper visibility. More on this in the demo. That's a better way to showcase these capabilities. Google Cloud certificate-based authentication. So we have also strengthened our Google Cloud integration with certificate-based authentication. So this provides a secure authentication method and simplifies the onboarding of Google Cloud assets into your privileged access framework. Lastly, direct inline proxy for databases. This is one of the most impactful additions that we have done, which is the direct inline proxy for databases. We now support inline proxy for MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, MariaDB, allowing users to connect securely using their preferred native database class. What this means to you is you are eliminating the need for a dedicated jump server. So your organization can simplify their architecture. You can avoid Microsoft RDS CAL licensing requirements, reduce infrastructure costs, and deliver a much smoother experience for database administrators. Let's have a look at the security enhancements in 6.0. We have added HSM integration. 6.0 now supports both physical and cloud-based HSMs, including UT Mako, Thales, AWS Cloud HSM, and Azure Cloud HSM. Sectona ensures that all cryptographic operations are performed using industry standard AES 256 and RSA 2048 encryption. For organizations with strict compliance requirements, this provides stronger key protection and an additional layer of security. Next is critical account reconciliation. So 6.0 strengthens reconciliation by extending recovery beyond the management account to a defined set of standard accounts. So I'll give you a scenario for this. In this scenario, where there is a scenario wherein the management account is out of sync. So in that case, the solution extends reconciliation privileges to a set of standard accounts in addition to the management account. So password rotation is applied to all these accounts, including the management account, on staggered schedules, ensuring that all passwords across the privilege estate remain under active rotation and that no standing privileges persist within the environment. Next is granular session control. So previously, administrators had two choices. Either they could monitor a session or terminate it. Now they can pause an active privilege session. What this does is, for example, if a admin wants to investigate, he can pause the session. He can communicate with the user to understand what is happening. And then based on whatever the user gives as feedback, he can either resume the session if everything checks out, or he can terminate it if it's necessary. All right, so moving on the user experience front. So the platform can now automatically identify asset types such as OS, databases, firewalls, and use these categories as part of account grouping. So this makes policy creation far more intuitive. Instead of manually organizing accounts, administrators can build smarter attribute-driven rules that reduce both manual effort. We are also including Spanish and Turkish language support. This was due to the presence of some of our customers who wanted Spanish and Turkish language to be supported. So we have increased our language support for the regional security teams over there to work with. Another major productivity enhancement is pre-built access types. So we have introduced ready-to-use templates for platforms such as AWS, Snowflake, Azure Console, Cisco ADR, complete with pre-configured parameters and SSO scripts so that it's easy for you to integrate with these assets. Finally, we have improved how the platform handles maintenance windows. This is a small update, but we would like to mention it. During updates, users now receive a configurable maintenance notification. Importantly, existing sessions and background processes continue uninterrupted, and administrators can schedule the maintenance without requiring a platform restart. I think I've covered tech, security, and user experience, and given you guys an overview of as to what all we have done in 6.0. All right, so that's it from my side. Salman will be taking over now, and we'll be seeing 6.0 in action. So over to you, Salman.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Vikrant, for a detailed overview of the version 6 features and enhancement which we are bringing on. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'll just quickly share my screen and I'll demonstrate the use cases now in action. Just a quick overview about the points which we are going to discuss. So it's going to be moreover a high level overview of all the advancements and enhancements which we are bringing in the 6.0 version. If you would like to enable any specific feature in your specific PAM instances, you may always reach out to our support channel and then get this specific features enabled in your environment. All right, so starting on with the technical advancements points. The first point which we have available in the list is Azure Entra ID discovery and onboarding support. Now, as most of you who are already using our PAM platform, you must be aware about that we support asset and account discovery through the Windows LDAP Active Directory channel. Now we have added a support for the Azure Entra ID based discovery as well, which now helps you to configure and discover assets which are directly onboarded on your Microsoft Azure platform. And to configure the same option, you have all the options available now here. So you have the Azure as an option over here to create a discovery job. Here you can specify your details and then basis on which you can enable the discovery configuration. By the way, rest of the configurations remains exactly same as any other discovery job. Right. Second point was about the Google Cloud certificate-based discovery configuration. So along with the Azure as a platform support, we have also added GCP as a platform support as well for the discovery jobs. Here as well, you can configure the discovery jobs based on specific details and then also configure it with a certificate-based authentication to your GCP instance to just discover the assets and accounts within your cloud environment. Further, the third option which we have is the database direct proxy, which is available in the system. So this database direct proxy, how does it work? Just a quick overview about it, as Vikrant has already described, that it is eliminating the need for CAL licenses, which is currently utilized by a lot of our customers. The database tech clients are hosted over the PAM jump server, and then based on the CAL licenses, these all sessions are provided to the end user. Now, with the database direct proxy, what we are essentially bringing up over here is I just have a quick, information about how the direct proxy connection would work from an end user machine. So here, as you can see, this is the PAM proxy configuration. So this is my PAM URL, and this would be the PAM proxy port. So we have kept the proxy port exactly same as the MS SQL database instance to keep it identical for the customer use and configuration. But then you can of course customize this port and then set it to your preferred one. Then what we have the second part is this is the connection string which is used for the proxy connection. So these are the details which are required into the connection string, which is like PAM username, then there is the target asset IP or host name, account name and PAM instance name, and further lastly the database instance name to which I would want to connect. Now, of course, this database instance name, IP, and the account name is something which should be mapped as an entitlement into my profile. Only then I would be able to access this particular database instance. So for this demo, I have created this particular string, connection string over here. How does this particular connection works is we have the SSMS client on the local machine. So instead of logging into PAM and then initiating a session which opens on the Jump server and then requires a CAL license, what you can now do is you have the SSMS client installed on your machine, and then to create a connection, you simply click on the connect button and specify these details over here. So in the server name, it will be the PAM URL and the PAM proxy port, and then the connection string, which we just discussed, is to be specified over here. Now, instead of password, using the password, what you have to do over here is you'll have to use the profile key of your specific, system. So you just have to go to your PAM profile settings, and there is a token generation option over here. You can generate a new token from here, and then you can use this token to connect as the password basically for this session. Now, of course, this token which is generated, this can be defined as per your desired time limit from the validity standpoint and from the number of usage standpoint. So you can always configure the token to be valid for, let's say, 2 or 3 attempts, and then valid for an hour's use, basically. And after that, the user will have to again log into the PAM system, generate a new token. So now the connection which is created over here is, as you can see, this is going on to the PAM application server on the PAM proxy port. And here I have the database connected into my system. Now to execute any specific query, I can simply use this database, client on my machine to execute whatever query or operational task which I would want to perform. And here, the session recording which is carried out, that session recording is on the text based logs basically. So the metadata specifically is something which is recorded from here. So I'll just write a test query. So here, the query, the whatever query I execute and the output which is visible over here, this will be my native experience with as an end user with the database connection. While this all connection is being still routed via the PAM proxy, so you still have the session integrity, session restriction, session isolation part available from here, and these all activities which the user is performing, this is also visible as a live view session. But in the live view session, we showcase the execution of the query which is being carried out by the end user. So here, if I execute, let's say I would just type some random table names so that we can see the example of query execution metadata availability here. So this is how the metadata will be shown. The system would be showing the metadata logs over here in the live session, and of course, this will be available as a recorded metadata as well. So this was about the the database direct proxy. Currently, we support the direct proxy for Microsoft SQL, MariaDB, and MySQL. We are also in our upcoming, releases. We are also bringing support for the Oracle databases as well, which will then eventually support the direct proxy configuration. Now, moving on to the another section, which is the security and compliance section. Now, in security and compliance, we have now brought in a capability to define password policies for emergency account. So by emergency account, what I mean is, let's say root account or administrator account, which are the built-in accounts of operating system. Then on the database level as well, you have SQL admin account, or for MS SQL database, you have SA account. These are the types of accounts which you would, let's say, not want to rotate as part of the general password rotation policy. You would want to define a different policy or a separate designated policy for these kind of accounts, so that you can keep better hold of the password rotation process which is happening. Also, this can be applicable for the service accounts as well. Let's say you have some NHI in your environment, and then you would want to rotate passwords on a specific time interval and on a specific schedule for such accounts. Then you may also take this into consideration. Now, what we have as an option available is, let's say I go to a root account, which is currently onboarded into my system. Now, on this root account, I have an option to change the policy configuration. So, default option is to inherit from the asset, and then I can further go and customize this. Let's say I would like to customize the rotation policy with my dedicated rotation policy, which is for the emergency account. So by defining this configuration, you then have granularized control over the rotation which is happening for specific accounts, and then you can effectively manage it from the system without having the hassle to define policies specific to assets, and then having a thought in the mind that whether the asset rotation policy and the NHI or some emergency account policy will not conflict with the system and your target assets basically. Now, the another option which we have is the session pause capability. So previously, so far, what we had as an option from the live session management was that as an administrator, you had an option to terminate the session. So we have upgraded that option now. You still have the terminated session, but then now you get an option to pause the live session as well. So this helps you to effectively, manage the user session and not disrupt the end user access in case if you would want to, just pause that session specifically for some monitoring purpose or for just a validation purpose. So I'll just quickly show you how that session pause option works. And by the way, this session pause option works for RTP, SSH, SFTP, web consoles, any of your access types. So I'm just initiating an SSH session from here. So this I have my SSH session connected. And if I come to my live session section over here, I would have the SSH session connected over here as well. So now to view this particular session window, let me just bring that session over here. Yeah. So this is my live session activity, which I'm doing as an end user, right? And as an administrator, now I have the two of the options over here. One is to terminate the session, and another one is to suspend the session. So if I would want to suspend the session, I can pass on a message over here. So it can be either this generic, default message of the system that the session is suspended by administrator, or I can write my custom message as well over here. So session suspended for review, for example. So I'm then going further and suspending this session. So when I come to my user screen as an end user, I would see the message over here displayed that the administrator has stopped or maybe paused the session for a review, right? And then further, as an administrator, you can review the activity which the end user is doing. So you can simply say your custom comment over here and then further go ahead and resume the same session. So that's how effectively now as an administrator, you would be able to manage the session activities of the end users from the right away from your administration console. Now, coming back to the My Access page. So secondly, we have enhanced the SIM and log forwarding server basically. So in case of SIM and log forwarding configuration, what we have added as an enhanced event option is now along with the user authentication or user login event logs, we are also transferring the MFA logs as well. So sessions which are taken with an MFA, or let's say user authentication which happens with an MFA. So the MFA related details is something which will also be parsed through the SIM and log forwarding session to get to transfer more contextual information from the system towards your SIM server. Lastly, in the security and compliance, we have now brought in the integration of Vault into the system. So now, as a security module, you can integrate your HSM system within the PAM application itself. So now you have, by default, we have options for Ultimaco and Thales. You can further go ahead and create a generic HSM configuration as well. And based on the required parameters, you can configure any other HSM system to be integrated with the PAM vault. And then additionally, physical cloud and key-based HSM modules is something which you already have as an option now available in the system. Now, lastly, the user experience part. So, the as we have brought in that option from an administration standpoint into the account, that now we are bringing in the account level specific policies to be defined. On top of that, from an automation standpoint, so I think many of you must be using Sectona account groups into your system and then attribute based account group into your system as well, right? So previously for the attribute based account groups, what we had as a attribute option over here is just the account type, account name, and further details related to it. For the asset standpoint, if I would like to automate the asset account grouping into the system, then I only had an option to just generically define an asset category, which would then have the asset category and the asset type both merged into the same attribute type. Now we have just added one more option over here to provide you with more flexibility of configuring asset category separately as well as the asset type separately. So accordingly, basis on which you can define the specific asset type. This is helpful in case if you have defined some custom asset type configuration in your environment and then you would like to specifically define the account grouping based on the asset types. So that is something which we have now brought in as an option into the system. Further to this, we have also added language support. We now support three languages into the system. This language configuration is can be enabled from two types. One is from the end user profile specific. So if you are running the PAM system as an MSSP and you have multiple customers onboarded into the system, then the customers can now be enabled with a specific set of language options. So this is on the end user profile level. So I as an end user can select which language I'm comfortable with, and basis on which I can change the system's language based on my specific profile configuration. Of course, this option is available as a system-wide configuration from the administrative standpoint. So as an administrator, if you would like to keep and define a default language for the system out of these four, then you can accordingly define it from the system default configuration as well. Right. Apart from this, the other 2 points which we have is that the 40 plus pre-built connectors is something which we keep on adding. So for the asset type and access type configuration, we have brought in more additional connectors as out of the box option for you. Of course, if you will deploy PAM as a new system, or if you upgrade to this new version, you would have this new access type option defined into the system. And this new access type not only just includes the thick client access type, but also includes the web consoles configuration along with the automation script and everything which you require to just configure and enable access to the end user. So now this has been more taken care into a consideration of enabling you as an administrator to define the configuration as a plug and play option through the system. And then we also have one of, I mean, it's a small, detail into the system, but it was, requested by a lot of customers, and then it was also required in the sense of, having the PAM to showcase some type of message when the PAM is into a maintenance mode. So now we have brought in a page for the maintenance mode. Now, what happens is when the end users are not accessing the PAM, for example, or if there is any planned activity going up for the PAM, so instead of PAM page showing that there's a vault connection failure or maybe some other error page like 403, 503, now what PAM will showcase is it will show a default page and it will notify the users into that default page with a message that the PAM is currently under maintenance. Please connect after some time. This kind of a page will be showcased to the end user. So as an administrator, this will reduce the overhead for you to inform to specific user or keep on updating during the maintenance activity which is going on. And this as a system also helps us to upfront tell the users that the system is currently unavailable for privileged usage. Yeah.
Um, all right. Thank you, Salman, and thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Um, we both are available if you have any questions. I have added my email ID and Salman's email ID as well. And we look forward to speaking soon with you. All right. So physically, if you want to connect with us, our India office address, UAE address, and UK address are on your screens. With that, our specific phone numbers are there on the screen as well. And if you want any other information, you can connect with us on email at info@sectona.com. All right. With that, we'll conclude this webinar. Salman?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining today, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.